Our society does not encourage teenage pregnancy, but this is life. It happens. When it happens, we have to help the teenage pregnant girl to manage it well so she can go on with her life. Today's episode on the Relevant Woman Talk Show, I have with me a teen mom and an expert who works with adolescent girls. Today's episode, we are going to find out from the teen mom what happened, her experiences and everything. And the expert will also help us to understand what we need to understand. So you are welcome, and I entreat you to enjoy this episode with us. My guests are Miss Theodora Acquaah. She is founder of Naa Adole Foundation, and she's also a community health nurse at the Mamobi General Hospital. Yes, and the other guest is teen mom Evelyn Appiah. Yes, and today we are going to share our experiences, and hopefully we will be encouraged to help other teenage mothers to, go through their journey smoothly. Please stay tuned.
It's your Goria local drinks. We have assorted drinks such as Sobolo, Asana, Mashkinke, fruit juice. Your Goria na your corner local.
Miss Theodora, you're welcome.
Thank you.
And Evelyn, you're also welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Okay. So, Theodora, tell us about Naa Adole Foundation, what you do with these adolescent ladies.
Okay, thank you. Naa Adole Foundation is a local organization that gears towards giving support to adolescents, especially adolescent mothers who have given birth and have dropped out of school. Okay. We give support and we give them hope. Some things that they think that after giving birth, that is the end of their lives. So we try to encourage them and we give them hope that they can get to wherever they want to be in future. And that's it.
Okay. So how did you come to meet Evelyn?
All right. She came for antenatal. Okay. And at that time I was handling adolescent health. So every adolescent who comes to the facility and is pregnant, they refer them to me so that I will talk to them. Okay. So I met her and I asked where she stays and she showed me. So I encouraged her that is not the end of her life. At that time she was in GSS. About to write her exams, and I told her that she can still write the exams. Okay. She shouldn't feel shy that she is pregnant, so that should be the end of her life. And I encouraged her once I'll visit her at her home. Actually, she wasn't the only one. There were other ladies too who had gotten pregnant. Yeah, so the more I got closer to her, she got confidence, and at first she felt shy and rejected. But when I drew closer to her and the other girls, they were able to confide in me whatever they were going through. And that was how I got to know her.
Wow. So, Evelyn, the time you met Miss Theodora, what was going on with you? You were pregnant. How old were you?
I was at the age 15. Yes. I was of the age 15. She came, I was at the maternity when she came. And she asked me of my name. She took my details. I was at home one day when she came.
Oh, she came to your house?
Yeah.
Were you surprised?
Yes.
And how did you feel about it?
I don't really know. I wasn't expecting her, so I was surprised.
Okay, so when she came, what did she tell you?
She asked of my health. Yes, and she took my maternity book. So she wrote something inside, like home visiting or something of that sort. She wrote it inside and she took it away. And she gave me advice on what to eat as a pregnant teenager, what to eat, the food to eat and the others.
So I want to understand, and I'm sure viewers also want to understand. So what led to your pregnancy? Of course you had sex, but what happened when you had sex?
It was actually I went to see a friend. Yeah, I went to see a friend somewhere. Through that, I met this guy.
What is... so when you met him now, then no, like, so the guy was not your friend.
He was.
Through a friend, you became friends with him. And was he older than you at the time?
Sure.
When you met him, how old were you?
I was 15.
The same 15?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what did he tell you? Or what happened? Were you looking for love?
I don't know. At that time, I didn't know anything.
Okay. So what were some of the things he told you? What made you feel attracted to him? Because you have sex when you're attracted to someone. What was so special about him?
Or was he working?
Was he
or giving you
working?
money?
Was he saying he would give you money?
Yeah. He said all those things.
Why, there was no money at home?
No, there was money.
But was he older than you? Like
Yeah.
a lot older?
Not a lot.
Like how old was he?
He was, I think, then 22. Yeah, and I was 15.
And that's not a lot.
It says.
So were you forced, or did you agree? I want to understand your situation. Was it consensual? Did you talk about it? Were you having a relationship, feeling, okay, this is my boyfriend? Or did he force you, or how? How did it happen?
He didn't force me.
Okay. Na motimo hwase.
Yeah.
China wompna no. That was your boyfriend.
Something like that.
It was not something like that.
That was it.
That was it.
Oh,
But did
because
you-
you regretted, that's why I said something like that. But as at then,
But as of that time, you can feel free. You know, I explained to you that you're here to encourage other people. Okay? Yes. So as of that time, you thought that you were in love.
Yeah.
So did anybody at home know this particular man?
As at that time,
Yes.
no.
So nobody knew him.
No.
Okay. So Theodora, you see, our children go out, they encounter people. We may think we know our children, but we do not know them. So as someone dealing with adolescents, how do you handle, do you have any kind of things for parents to kind of look out for in their children?
yes, most of the time, we'll meet them during PTA meetings. So when we go to PTA meeting, we'll talk to the parents that when they see some changes in their children, especially when they when they start getting their menses, they have to pay much particular to their movements. Yeah.
Like you be following your child with your eye,
Not following
or
with your eyes,
ears?
but you make sure you try to know their friends. And you once a while you go and ask the teachers how the children are faring, or the children might do some things that the teachers might know that the parents wouldn't know. Yeah. And when we keep on visiting the schools, we will know much about what our girls especially are doing. Yeah. And once a while too, sometimes those in the community because the mother might go to market or goes to work and comes back late. So he might do some enquiries or check, oh, how is the movement of my daughter? Like random check. Someone that you think that wouldn't say bad thing or just lie about your child. Maybe the person will try to cover you. Oh, your banner there. Or fear they be as for you. The person have seen the girl moving with other people. Yeah. Yeah.
So at that time, Evelyn, who were you staying with?
I was with my grandmom.
And well, you said your mom passed.
Yeah.
So where was your father at that time?
He was already gone.
Where?
He died a long time ago.
Oh,
Before
sorry.
my mom.
Okay. So you were looking for love? Oh, I want to understand you.
I don't really know what I was looking for at that time because, as I say, I didn't know anything about. I didn't have any idea of what I was even doing.
Oh, because your friends were
Were
doing
your friends
it.
doing it? Oh, you had friends of the same age who were also
Yes.
having sex with people, and they used to talk about it.
Not really. I only had one particular friend who I go out with. So it was through her that I met the guy I got pregnant with. Yeah.
Okay, so now when you got pregnant, who was the first person you told?
My friend.
The same friend who took you
Yeah.
to the boy.
Yes.
Why didn't you tell the boy? I mean, you were lovers.
I told my friend and she was the one who told the guy.
That you're pregnant. So why didn't you tell your grandmother? Because she's the one you stay with.
Actually, after JHS, my grandmom took me to my mom. At that time, my mom wasn't dead yet. So she took me there to stay with her for a while. So that when our results are in, then she'll bring me back. So when I went there, that was when I got to know that I'm pregnant. So
okay.
I actually came back to Accra without their notice, without my grandmom knowing that I'm back to Accra.
And where were you staying?
I was with my friend.
That's your friend. How old? Is it a boy or a girl?
A girl.
How old
she was
is
older than me. She was 19.
At the time?
Yes.
Staying with who?
Her mom and her grandmom.
So when her mother and her grandmother noticed that you had joined their family, what did they say?
They didn't really say anything, but
were
the
just
grandmom
okay.
wasn't happy with me being there.
And what was your excuse for being there?
In fact,
For visit.
my friend didn't allow her grandmom to like interact with me or something. Yeah.
Theodora, how is this possible? You are in your house and your daughter brings another child into the house.
Maybe the girl told the mother or the relative, oh, she's coming to visit us. Or maybe she will say something for them to accept the girl, to accept Evelyn in the house. So maybe she lied that, oh, she's come to visit, or maybe the mother is dead, or they've sacked her from the home, or something like that.
I didn't like though. I don't really know what my friend told her parents, but for her grandmom, she wasn't expecting me there.
Because she's older, she wouldn't accept that proposal for her to be there, yeah.
And at that time too, my friend's mom she had traveled, so it was her and the grandmom and I. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And maybe the girl too doesn't respect the grandmother.
Okay, so at what point did your grandmother get to know?
I think when I was 3 months old. Yes. One day I was at home.
Which of the homes?
I went back to my grandmom.
Okay.
I was eating and my aunt asked me, why is your stomach big like that? And I got scared. So I thought maybe she has seen everything. So I just left the house and I went to my friend's place. And
Again?
Yes. And I took her phone and I called my grandmom that this is what has happened.
Okay.
And she was like, it's late, so I should stay there in the morning, then I should come.
Okay. But when your boyfriend at that time heard that you were pregnant, what was his reaction?
He was saying I should give birth and that he would take care of the child, but I wasn't expecting anything like that. So I wanted to get rid of it. But he was also like, okay, if I want to do so, then I should go my way. So he was there. And I also was trying everything to get rid of the pregnancy.
So did you try?
No.
Before we get into that trying, when an adolescent is pregnant, how is it supposed to be managed at the time that it is found out that this adolescent girl is pregnant?
Immediately the parent, the relatives, the family knows that she's pregnant, they should start antenatal.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like this back and forth, you will give birth, I want to abort it. Like
there will be a late attendance of, and some even don't go because they are afraid that when they get to the hospital, the health workers will insult them, so they wouldn't go at all.
Okay.
But some too brings their children, their girls to the antenatal clinic early.
Okay.
For early detection of any abnormality that might be occurring.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in her case, she wanted to get rid of it. Is it an option that, you know, is considered even in Ghana here? Is it allowed?
No, not really. It depends. Some, they will encourage you to give birth and they will adopt the child.
They'll give the child up for
adoption or to the children's home. Because if you don't want it, someone might need it than you killing a baby. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Vivian, when you wanted to abort, what were some of the things that were going through your mind?
Ingredients.
What were you going to use? Or what did you use?
When I told the guy that I wanted to get rid of it, he took me to a hospital.
The one who said you should keep it.
Yes, before then, he took me there.
Oh, no, yeah,
He took me there and they said we should pay some amount of money, which he didn't pay. So I was there and my friend's grandma was like, I think she saw everything. I don't know whether because she's older or something. So she asked my friend that, your friend, is she pregnant? And my friend was like, she doesn't know. So one day I was just passing by and she was like, whoa, when you know. So I got scared and I just dropped that intention of getting rid of the pregnancy.
Because the grandmother of your friend said, when you know
So I think in all these, it was good. Maybe she went to that house.
The grandma played psychology on her.
Yes, but for all you know, she had the plan of doing it.
Because she knows that the way her granddaughter and this one are scheming, definitely
they are
planning to do something because the pregnancy is already showing.
Yeah.
So definitely she
using
know,
psychology.
So she used psychology to say, so ube. And at that time you were very young, so you were afraid of dying. But why were you afraid of having a baby? Why did you want to abort your baby? Why?
Because I wanted to go back to school. And I didn't want my friends to be like, hey, Evelyn. Because during that time, I remember I was the class prefect. So, I thought it would have been a shame.
Talkatives. Okay.
Yeah, so I thought I would feel bad about it. So I wanted to get rid of it.
Maybe she was a role model to her mates.
Were you a church girl?
Yes, I was.
Hey. You used to preach or sing in church?
I sing
in church. So people couldn't have seen the church girl pregnant at that time. So that's the only reason why you wanted to abort your the pregnancy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's take a breather. When we come back, we'll continue. Please stay tuned.
It's your Goria local drinks. We have assorted drinks such as Sobolo, Asana, Mashkinke, fruit juice. Your Goria na your corner local.
Welcome back. We're going to delve into what happened after her grandmother found out that she was pregnant. Okay, so Evelyn, so grandmother who say you are pregnant, catch her no. and you stayed over. Then the following day you went to your grandmother. So when you went, what happened? Sign or J.
When I went, she had already called one of my grandfathers who was around, and he came. So he was like, where you were wasn't good for you, and they brought me here. And look at what I did. So he took my things and threw it out.
Oh!
So I went. One of my uncles in the house was like, I should go for the guy and bring the guy before. So he followed me to the guy's place and brought the guy before my grandfather threw my things out of the house.
That you should go away.
He said I should go to the guy.
Oh. But did the guy accept, say, oh, Mia?
Yes.
Okay. So did you go to the guy?
Yes, I went there.
And you stayed there? For how long?
I stayed there for about a month.
Okay. What happened there?
Nothing happened. Actually, it was a boys' room.
Hey,
But
is that where you were doing the do?
yes, but he was having his own bed. He was there with some two brothers. He had his own bed. So I was with him at that time, and one of my friend's father, a friend who was around, his dad was like, he should find somewhere and send me because I can't live in the midst of the boys. So the man took me to his wife, and I stayed with her for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yes, just in the area. So as time goes on, the wife was like, when I'm there, I should try to visit my grandmom.
Yes.
Once in a while, she go there. So I was going there once in a while.
That time your stomach was...
Yes. So I was going there. And when I went there the last time, she was like, I should tell the guy to bring my things back to the house.
Okay.
So I went back and I told the guy in the following morning, he brought me there to my grandmom's place.
By this time, how were you feeling? Were you still in love?
No.
You hated the boy?
Yes.
But you said it was an understanding.
Yes.
But you were realizing that...
That would be the end product.
So by the time you were coming home, how were you feeling?
I was feeling okay. Because even where I wasn't comfortable there, so I was okay.
And your boyfriend, did he used to give you money?
Yes.
No, before the pregnancy.
No.
But after the pregnancy, he was giving you money.
Yes.
So he became sort of responsible at that time. Okay, so when you went into labor, what happened?
What happened?
Yeah.
When I went there, they took my things, the baby's things, everything to the maternity ward, and I was told to then lie down on the bed.
How were you treated in the maternity ward? Were you insulted? Were you...
Actually, when I came there at first, they were cool. But as time goes on, one lady got angry and she started scolding at me because she told me to lie down and I didn't because I was in pain. Yeah, so she started shouting at me.
So these your adolescents. What more would you have to tell them before they can understand that these kinds of situations, they have to grow up to a certain level before they experience?
I think some don't get the knowledge on sexual education. So they try to do their own thing to see what is in. And some will end up getting pregnant. Some also end up getting sexual transmitted disease, HIV, AIDS. And some too will go, nothing will happen to them. Yeah, that is it.
So Evelyn, what could worry? What about fear? Now you are a mother. How are you? How were you? How was the first? Like let me say, even the first year of being a mother, because at that time you yourself, you were a child who was giving birth to a child.
I would say the first year wasn't that stressful for me because of my guardians. They helped me through. So for the first year, it was okay.
Okay, like how? What were they doing to help you?
Okay, like I don't put the child even at my back. They are always with the child. Every time I go out, I don't go out with her. But I see other teenagers even carrying their own babies on their bags, on the streets, up and down. So
And she got the support from the home.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So it helped you.
Yes.
So at which point did you start thinking, no, now when you finished giving birth to your baby or when you were pregnant, did you think that you could go back to your normal life again?
actually, my grandmom told me that when I give birth, she would take me back to school. But she was like, I should wait till the following year. And I didn't believe that because she was overseas. She was not in Ghana here, and she normally comes back, I think, after every 4 years or so. I thought when she was saying next year, I knew it was a lie. And my grandmom also, the one I stayed with, also knew that it was a lie. So I was there when Auntie Theo came and talked to her that just send me back to school. And she was also like, my grandmom cried, she's lying that she'll come back. She won't, so she too, she will not. But Auntie Theo spoke to her, and then she agreed.
How are you thanking her? You let her hold your baby and cuddle her?
Right now, I don't know how to thank her because words are not enough to thank her. So I have plans for her in the future.
Oh,
I would like to support her foundation.
wow. Because it has supported you.
Yes.
So before pregnancy, what did you want to do?
Before pregnancy,
Before we go there, Auntie Tio, thank you very much. Our viewers, let's thank Auntie Tio and her foundation. God bless you.
Amen.
Yeah, so before pregnancy, what were your dreams? What did you want to do?
I wanted to be a journalist.
Oh, and you still want to be a journalist. So you see, when you had your baby, when you got pregnant, it didn't mean that I wish you yourself could say it so that I will not be the one to say it. Yeah?
When I gave birth and I started schooling, I got to know that wasn't the end. I could do more. Because even still at school, I'm still the girl's prefect. So I know the love for being a leader is still there. Yes.
And now even you have an experience, even a strong one, a very good story to be able to back you up. Everywhere you go, you can tell people that, we don't encourage it. You see, I'll not tell a 15-year-old that have sex and get pregnant. But
You cannot reject her to when she gets pregnant.
you can't reject the person to when the person gets pregnant. So, you have a great story and a great responsibility at that, even in your area. Now, you become like a role model.
Because someone might tell the daughter who has gotten pregnant and doesn't want to go to school or doesn't want to learn any vocation. The mother will tell her, oh, have you seen Efua? She has gotten pregnant, she has delivered, and she has gone back to school. And maybe by that time, she would have been in university or tertiary. She will be a role model in the community.
And even the other way around too. When the children get pregnant, like they initially that grandfather let them take you to the boy. If you had remained there, it would have been a whole different case.
Yeah. And I think because she came back to visit them once a while, they feel that
She stayed with.
Yeah.
That woman gave you good advice. That once in a while,
Wow.
go home.
Yeah.
When your grandmother know who are,
for you. Yeah.
Do you
Who
see?
say what say no?
Yeah. So now you are writing your wasi. And how do you feel about that?
I feel good. That at long last, I'm also about to be a graduate from senior high school.
Your classmates before are ahead of you just
Yes.
A few years or more.
Just a year.
But it doesn't matter. Life is not a race. And you have a child already. Okay, so now how old is your baby?
She's 3 years.
Okay. And she calls you mommy?
Yes.
So when she comes to you, mama, mama, like, hey, so how can I miss me?
Oh, Miss Yadi.
Yeah. How is motherhood for you?
relationship.
How has, your relationship with your child and all that? Taking decisions. You have to take decisions sometimes for your child, right? How has that experience been for you?
It has been cool. Sometimes I don't just take decisions because I also have elderly people around.
Okay.
Somebody like my grandmom. She tells me sometimes what I should do. So I don't just take decisions.
And when you look at your child, what are your goals and your aspirations for your child?
There are plenty.
Oh, share some with us.
I would like my girl to grow to be a responsible girl, and I would like to teach her more about sexual life so that she wouldn't go through what I went through. Because I at that time didn't know anything about it. So I wouldn't like her to go through. I wouldn't like her to follow my footsteps.
Are you trying to say that during your first encounter with sex, you didn't know what was happening?
Actually, after that, I told my friend and she told me everything.
That
Even when I got pregnant and I told her, she was like, I told her that I want to get rid of it, and she was like, I shouldn't do it. Because I thought she took me there, so I thought maybe she would also help me get rid of it. But she was like, in her family, you don't do that. So she didn't do help.
and so she's trying to tell you that she has not gotten pregnant. So when you were having sex, you were not protecting yourself?
No.
Oh, why?
I didn't know anything about contraceptives at that time.
Or condom? You had not heard that a man has to wear a condom to have a sexual encounter with?
No.
Really?
Some too, because their menses wouldn't be regular.
Had you menstruated by then?
Yes.
For how long?
I think for about 1 year.
So it was not regular for you to know. You can't calculate it. Okay. So it means most parents are doing a great disservice to their children, because if at the age of 15 years she really didn't know anything about sex, all she knows is that a man will just sleep with a woman, but she didn't know anything, how to manage it and everything.
Some get pregnant at 10 years. I've seen a 10 years girl who got pregnant. She did CS. They did her CS.
Theodora, you will see this. So yeah, but I think it's very important that parents, we educate our children very, very well. They need to be
They should be our
informed.
friends too.
Yes. So when you had sex with your friend and with the boyfriend, and you told your friend that, oh, this guy slept with me, what did your friend tell you?
I didn't tell her.
Oh, you didn't tell anybody you were having sex, but your friend
But
knew.
when she got pregnant, that she told her, right?
Oh, you didn't tell her you were having sex. Oh, but you're enjoying it. Oh, okay. I see. Okay, so right now that you are about to finish senior high school, you want to be a journalist. So how are you going to go about that? Do you have any places in mind you want to go?
Yes.
Where do you want to go?
I want to go to the Ghana Institute of Journalism.
Okay.
Yes, that's where I want to go to school.
And your family will support you.
Yes.
That's good. That's good. So with your journalism, what do you hope to achieve with it?
For me, I just like the human rights aspect. I want to support others. Some people have critical issues out there.
Like what?
Some people, they don't have. Just, I think last 2 weeks ago, I listened to the radio and a woman was like, her son was beaten by her husband. But if it had not been for a radio station who came in, it would have been a
foolish case.
Yes. So that's what I also want to
with
bring.
your journalism,
Yes.
you want to bring out those issues so that it can be solved.
Yes.
I think that's a good something that you're thinking that you want to do, and that's laudable. Okay, so rounding up the whole thing, what's the way forward? What's the way forward?
Yeah, I want to encourage our young ones who get pregnant along the way, unexpected, that there's life after pregnancy. And also what I try to encourage them is, I try to enroll some, my foundation tried to enroll some in vocation. I have other 3 ladies who have gotten pregnant and they are learning how to sew. Yeah, so after that, they will be able to take care of themselves without depending on anyone in the society. Yeah, and some too, they would like to go back to school, as Evelyn did. Yeah, so the others too can follow their footsteps, whether you should go back to school or learn a vocation. You shouldn't sit down and say that, oh, I'm waiting for the man to come and take care of me. The man's work might not be all that much that it will bring more money to the house. So you have to do something to support yourself. So in case one time you want to take Coke or Fanta or other drink, you can buy it for yourself than depending on your husband or your boyfriend to come and buy it for you. Yeah.
I think that's very good. I was telling you that Evelyn is like my ambassador for teenage mothers, teenage girls who get pregnant and feel everything is lost. Even if your family rejects you or they take you to the boy or wherever you find yourself, I feel you could find a way out. You could find a way out. You will be miserable. Your story will be painful. But you can find that inner strength within you to do something. Because most I didn't call school nanka. Or call boy and get the honor. But she has learned a lot from it. Are you still in relationship with him?
No.
You see.
One thing also, when they get after delivery, we encourage them to do family planning. Yes. Because the likelihood of them getting pregnant again is high. So we encourage them to do family plans. Some will say, oh, I won't have sex again. Some do. Some too, they can't. So that's why we encourage them to do family planning, for them to be at the safer side. Because they think that doing the family planning is wrong. But they will get pregnant and the child will be a burden on them. Yeah.
See, you've come here, you've shared your story. What would be your words of encouragement to 2 different groups of people? First, to parents, and the second one to teenage girls like you.
Okay, so to the parents, I would like to tell them that it's not only about you supporting your child at home. Sometimes you have to take a good look at your child. You have to make some investigations, even at a school, to know how school life is. Mm-hmm. It's not always at home. Mm-hmm. Yes, so that you get to know everything about your child. Sometimes your child's friend might even know your child more than you, the parents. Mm-hmm. That's because some parents would just leave the child there. They think they're paying their school fees. That's the end. The child doesn't need anything else. But the friends are always there for your child too.
So they need to be friends.
Yes.
And then to teenage girls, so one can also say as for them. Can't unfair for to say one.
What I would like to tell them is that all hope is not lost when you get pregnant. Mm-hmm. So far you've known, and doesn't mean that that's all. At first I thought that was my end, but I got another chance, and I've gotten to know that I can do more. Mm-hmm. So all hope is not lost. You just need to pray. You have to be careful too. Yeah.
Say so find in that kind of situation, and they should call auntie too.
Yes, it's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you get through that, you can follow Naa Adole Foundation, and then get interacted with Auntie Theodora, and then through that, maybe there will be a solution to your problem.
Okay. Theodora, your final words.
Final ways.
Yes.
All right. Mothers, their girls should be their friends. They shouldn't think, oh, you should leave the girl to be with other people, or they should do whatever they like. When they start getting their menses, they should start teaching them a lot of things about sex, even menses, for them to know, oh, this time when I have sex, I'll get pregnant. This time, and even getting STIs, they should also encourage them, because something that they wouldn't get if they don't want to get pregnant, STIs are there. They will get STIs here.
I'm glad that you came, but I have a surprise for you. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's your Goria local drinks. We have assorted drinks such as Sobolo, Asana, Mashkinke, fruit juice. Your Goria na your corner local.
Welcome back. Evelyn. Yeah, for you coming here, we at the Relevant Woman Talk Show want to show you some love. We appreciate that you had the courage to come sit here and tell us about your story. And we even appreciate more that you have been an encouragement to other teenage girls out there. And your word to the parents is very important to us, because sometimes our parents think that, or may think that everything is okay, but everything is not okay. So you have encouraged parents to get more closer to their children to prevent some of these things from happening. So this is something small. Come. This is something small, but from the deep down from our hearts to you and to your daughter, Ifwa, right? Yeah. Yes. And Timo burning in our soul, but a bit to me, I baby kakra and ameba. And I put some things in there so that she will always remember us. Okay, so thank you so much for coming, and this is for you. Okay, so Theodora, before you go, I want you to shed more light into Naa Adole Foundation, so that when, adolescent people or people who know somebody can refer and recommend when they find out that a family is having a crisis with teenage pregnancy and all those things, at least you could be able to be of help to such people.
I got the passion to set up this foundation when you were referring this adolescent to me. Some don't know what they should do with their life. So I decided to give support to them. So I started talking to some of them, encouraging them to find a trade. And sometimes I will encourage them to go back to school. So as time goes on, I will gather staffs, baby dresses, so that I'll give it to those who deliver and they don't have any support. As time goes on, I'll meet some and I'll talk to them. Do you want to work? And they'll tell me, oh yes. But they don't know where to go. And some too, because of the money that they will pay, it will discourage them to go. So I'll talk to a few madams around, those who sew or do hairdressing. I'll talk to some and they will enroll them into their business. I have 4 girls who are learning how to sew, and some who are doing hairdressing. So that is what my foundation will try to support teenage mothers. Not only teenage mothers, but any adolescent who has dropped out of school or has gotten pregnant. I try to give support to them. So my first training that we did was I gathered a few adolescent mothers, and I taught them how to do local drink. Because as at 20, for some years now, local drink has been in the system. And if you do and you package it nicely, children will buy. So I try to encourage them to start something, doing the local drink as Sana Sobolo, so that they also do it. And there was this one girl who has done it and has bought fridge. She showed the fridge to me that, oh, out of the what she has been selling, she has bought fridge, because where she was staying, there wasn't light. So always she has to buy ice block, and she was saying that all the money goes into it. So she bought the freezer, and she came to Accra to stay with the auntie. So after that, in December, I tried to teach them how to do pastries, because I do bake. I taught them how to do pie and some small cupcakes and biscuits. And that one too, I bought some small oven for them. So that they wouldn't say, oh, after the training, I wasn't having any oven, so I didn't do it. So I bought this local made oven for some of them, and they have started baking. Also, we do outreaches, health screening for adolescents, young people. And when we do that, we get they share their problem with us, because they don't know whom to confine these problems with. They will tell their parents, and their mother will beat them. So when they tell us, we know how to go about it, and we help them solve their problems. Yeah.
Wow, you are doing a very good job. You're doing very well. You're doing extremely well. And I just pray that people will, get to know, and when they get to know, will actually help you. You need more of finance to push this. So I really pray that anybody who comes across will, from their good hearts, support you financially, so that you can be able to help all of these adolescent girls. She has been saved. Yes. And there are many more out there who also need to be saved. Thank you so much. We thank God we had a fruitful discussion here, especially with Evelyn. Yeah, and thank you also to Miss Theodora for sharing her expertise with us. I want to thank you also for watching, and I also want to thank you for subscribing. If you have not yet subscribed, please look down there. You see that red button, they've written subscribe? Yeah, click that one. And don't forget to hit the bell too. Yeah, thank you for doing that. I want to encourage you to still adhere to all COVID-19 protocols so that you can stay safe. I thank Oba Gloria of Yogoria. Thank you so much for the Sobolo. You should see how everyone is drinking it here. Everyone is enjoying it. Thank you so much. I want to thank everybody who made this production a success. Until I come your way again with another episode, stay relevant.